What's good, y'all? Coach Mark with Journeyman Fitness, and I'm here to talk to you and hopefully give you some chewable information to help you get more in shape, get healthier, and hopefully shed a few pounds. Now I'm going to explain to you a rule that we have around the gym. It's called Not One Grape rule. And this rule is hopefully going to, maybe it'll blow your mind, maybe it won't, maybe it'll be like, Mark, I've already heard this, but for a lot of people this kind of explains a lot of things about, how and when they should eat throughout the day. So when somebody comes in and says, Mark, I gotta lose weight, we're gonna have a conversation about food with them. How much are you eating? How frequently are you eating? When are you eating? And then obviously what's making up the actual plate, right? And so this rule, the not one grape rule, really should dictate kind of like when you eat and the frequency you eat, and then just give you rules and principles to live by. So if you're a vegetarian, if you're a flexitarian, if you're a vegan, if you just drink juice all the time, it's going to work for all of this, and I'm going to explain why. All right, so not one grape rule. All right, so let's assume a couple of things. One is you have 4 meals a day. You can have 5 meals a day, you can have 3 meals a day, it doesn't really matter, right? Most people though generally look at 4 meals. So you've got breakfast, lunch, you've got some sort of snack, and then you've got dinner, right? So with those meals, generally we want to have them over a 12-hour period. So we've got 12 hours of eating, and then we've got 12 hours of not eating. And then, you can call the 12 hours not eating of fasting, but in reality it's technically true, but it's not excessive. And it's really kind of an easy way to break your day in. If you start eating at 7, you're going to have your last meal at 7 p.m. If you start eating at 9 a.m. one morning, you're going to have your last meal at 9 p.m. Okay? When you have those meals, generally what we want to do is just have a nice steady stream of food throughout the day. All right? So if you have 4 meals a day, that means you're going to have a meal every 4 hours. You're going to have meal 1 at, let's say, 8 a.m. All right? Then you're going to have the next one at 12 p.m. You're going to have it at 4 p.m. And then the last one is going to be at 8 p.m. Right? Hopefully that's not the mind-blowing part. All right? But let's talk about what happens in between. So generally, someone could come in and say, Mark, I don't eat a whole lot. I generally have a lot of real small meals throughout the day to keep my metabolism, stirred or whatever. But really, let's talk about that kind of that myth, right, of kind of keeping a fiery metabolism, or I can't even remember what they really describe it with. So generally, when you eat, you're going to have protein, carbs, and fat at every meal. And if you don't, then you should. So when you put food into your belly, into your stomach, that food is broken down and starting to quickly turn into energy, and also building blocks for muscle, and just a whole host of things that happen in the stomach and the intestine. This is the preferred source of energy for your body. So when you put food into your stomach, you've got almost instant release of energy. Okay, your body prefers it, and your body essentially shuts down a lot of other processes and diverts energy and blood flow to your stomach so it can break down and use that as energy. So about 90 minutes to 2 hours after your meal, that food is essentially completely gone through your system, and now you don't have food anymore readily available to your body to use for energy. Now, someone who is operating optimally can switch over to break down adipose tissue, right, or fat tissue for energy, right? Fat cells are essentially just storage for energy. However, the process of breaking that down takes some energy, and it's slower and the not ideal process for your body to use for energy, okay? So once there's kind of a lack of food in the stomach, your body will switch over to using fat for energy. Now, if you're constantly snacking, if you're constantly eating every 2 hours because your body says, hey, I'm hungry, there's a couple of things that are happening, but basically you can think of it as your body doesn't understand how to get energy from that adipose tissue. Essentially what you're doing is it only understands how to get energy from the food that's in your stomach, and so it's constantly saying, hey, I need food, feed me. So you just snack all the time. But in reality, what's happening is, one, you're most likely overeating, but number two is you have all this energy sitting on your frame and none of it is getting broken down for energy. So when you're trying to lose weight, and you're most likely trying to lose body fat, your body is never really breaking that body fat down. You're never actually kind of getting rid of it. You're just constantly storing it. So the not one grape rule is every meal that you have, obviously eat and enjoy and sit down and have a great time, but between those 4 hours, you are not allowed to have even one grape between those meals. And what that's going to do is it's going to begin to teach you how to break down adipose tissue for energy. Now, this may be a little uncomfortable for the first day or the second day, but very soon your body really starts to learn how to access energy and how to get that energy, okay? So even one grape, it's gonna start to kind of dilute that process so that your body can take its preferred energy, which is food in the stomach, all right? And really what happens, if you wanna get into some of the details, is when insulin is released because of the food that you eat, right? Insulin is a storage hormone. Part of what insulin does is actually blunts the process of breaking down tissue so that it can shuttle food into either your muscles or your liver or obviously into storing for fat. So that's what it is whatever meals that you have, don't think that constant snacking is going to create like a fiery metabolism. For a lot of people, really what's happening is they're not used to breaking down tissue for energy. They're just constantly used to eating. And as a side effect, you're probably overeating. So take this into heart, split your meals into 4 or 5 meals or 3 meals, whatever it is, be consistent, and just know that in between meals, you are not allowed one grape. Just have water, maybe some black coffee, all right? Don't put sugar or cream into it. That is also food, that's a calorie source. And try it out, and at least for a week. Don't try it for like 6 hours and say like, well, Mark, that didn't work. You're a dummy. We've proven this with our clients going through our takedown challenge and our takedown lifestyle. It works, but you've got to give it time. So hopefully that was really helpful for you, and thanks for watching it, and I'll talk to you soon.